editors, visual editors. This comes to address this issue. The errors are my opinion. They don't. You don't have to agree. But then we have user-friendly environment, which affects most problems. Wiki projects, which again affects the articles, and women in red, which solve some of that. So I'll put the colors on. You see, these solutions try to address these problems, but not everything is addressed. We did in Israel a lot of research to see why women are not editing, and we got the fascinating answer. Women are less confident. We just need to boost female confidence in editing, and it will work. Basically, the big drop, the big gender causes after the first year in the university. Women study and they learn that they don't know. Men always believe they know everything. But women understand that they don't know, and that's what scares them. We don't know, we shouldn't write an encyclopedia. So if we address this, tell women, you know better than men, please write, it will solve the problem. But one thing we don't, remember we have this problem. We don't address this well enough. The overall atmospheric is misogynistic, and the cultural is off-putting in a sexual way. And I want to suggest some ways to try and solve this. I don't know if it will work, but we can always try. There are several problems with the articles in Wikipedia. We cannot address all of this. First of all, quantitative, context. Lower number of articles. Simply, a person goes to Wikipedia, she doesn't find what she needs, so she just goes away. When we finish addressing the gender gap problem, this will be fixed. Linguistic bias, that's more difficult to address. There are problems in the language, and we represent the culture and the language. So it's more difficult for us to fix the language. But again, this is interconnected. There's an academy for languages, like the French Academy for the French language, the Hebrew Academy for the Hebrew language, and they come to us and says, you're representing the world in a certain way. We invent new words, you're not using them, so nobody will ever use them. So I think we should be more flexible in the way we see these things. And then there is the cultural bias. I will give some examples for this. Oh, and last, that's what I want to talk about, the visual, the looks of Wikipedia. I want to tell a story about a project that I did. I went to a class of students in Herzliya, and I wanted for them to write articles in Wikipedia. First they wrote about heritage sites, and then the next year I wanted them to write about women. So there was a class, and in the school they had posters of Nobel Prize winners. And I sent them to look at the pictures and count the women. And they came back and said there are two women, two Nobel Prize winners. First, again, something doesn't stuck. I'm sorry. Like this. Okay, Ada Yonat, one of the rooms in the conference is named after her. She founded the shape of the ribosome, an Israeli scientist. It was, I think she got the Nobel Prize 2 years ago. Second one, you know her, Marie Curie. These are the two women who won Nobel Prize, and the rest were men in the school. So these are the students. Laila, she was the ED of the foundation, came to meet with them because the project was successful. That's the mayor of the city. There is me. The teacher was my cousin, so she agreed to this experiment. And that student, I don't know his real name. I know his username, which is Indian, probably because of the hair. Wrote an article about a woman scientist. Her name is Marcel Makhlouf. The article was later translated into English. And one of the things that was interesting to see that a year later, the article in Hebrew was the most read article in Hebrew Wikipedia, because she, every year on Independence Day, 12 leading people get to light bonfires and she was one of them, and nobody knew who she was, so everybody went to read the article. So at the end of the year, they wrote articles about 50 scientists, and you do like what they learned. I brought the head of the school and the teachers, and you get like feedback. What did you learn? And I expected them to say, well, what they really learned is how to read a CV, because they got it from the scientist. How to write a CV, that's the same thing. How to write a letter to the scientist or an email. Please, I want to write an article about you. Can you send me information? Correspond with them. So they needed to understand some of the research. So they learned lots of good stuff from the educational perspective. But one of the students told me, and these are gifted students in the school, we learned that there are more women scientists than we thought there were. And one of them said something that really shocked me that she said it. We learned that women can be scientists. And I think this is a great thing to learn from writing articles about Wikipedia, but that's what happens. So again, I want to give examples. First of all, there is in the articles, I will give later general examples. Quantitative is a problem to see, because if you don't have the article, you cannot see it. So you need to, that was the previous lecture, you need to have tools and see what's missing. Linguistical bias and cultural bias. I will try and show you both examples. In Hebrew, some languages are gender biased in themselves. English is not, I think, but Hebrew, the word for teacher's room is Chadar Morim, which means male teacher's room, even if all the teachers in the school are female. Law firm, again, it's male law office. There is only one law office in Israel that uses the word for female, which is my aunt. She has 30 female lawyers and 1 male. So she says everybody are female and uses the term in the feminine way. Something that we have in every article in Hebrew, see also. Re'egam, which means males, guys, see also. So it was decided in Hebrew Wikipedia to use like the general, which means in English you all see also, which is not just for male. And just these little things make the article friendlier for women, and they want to read more. I'll go back to, I have an example from English Wikipedia about the cultural thing. There was several big arguments. There was an article, I think, well, this is first. Human missions to Mars. Oh, sorry. Oh, my computer crashed. Okay. 30 seconds until it restarts. Meanwhile, I'll tell about it. Human mission to Mars, they wanted to change it to manned mission to Mars. Human, okay. Manned, is it just men or is it men and women? Somebody suggested actually it should be non-existent mission to Mars because nobody would say them. But even that is cultural bias, and it's very off-putting to women. My sister is a space scientist, and she got really insulted just with this argument. A human mission to Mars, or just missions to Mars, would be better than manned mission to Mars. Again, I apologize. I will try and see what I can do about this.
But crashed because you don't have
no, I have
the electricity?
I have, it's just decided to crash. Gender biased computer.
Maybe we can discuss in the meantime, or are you like...
Yeah, well, I didn't show you the research yet, so if you have any questions so far before we start, go to the visual gap. This is a good time to ask what we are trying
Please
to...
upload the slides on Commons and share it on the page of your presentation into the diversity space, so everybody can reach out to this presentation. Questions? Okay.
Actually, not really a question, but I think it's important to tell this. But I mean, you talk about this issue to a room that is made up majoritively of women. So this is actually a big issue that here are not that many men who are actually caring about this topic, like except from you and the guys who have to be here for technique and like.
It's even worse than this because most of the guys that are here are people that I ask them to come.
Are paid for this?
Yes.
Okay.
And as for the language, I can add something else that I want to talk about yesterday. But for music group, we only had it in male, like חברי, like the guys that are in that band. And what about a band? I wrote about a band that has three sisters, 3 women actually. And I had to change it, but what he said about the lack of confidence, I didn't even know how to change the template because the template was just for me. So I asked for help and they helped me out and now it's properly.
For example, Wikimedia Argentina starts something with use on writing articles with a women perspective. So on the first sentence of the articles in Wikipedia, use only what is notable for this woman. So don't say it's the wife of such and such, but only related to what this woman is notable for, which is a good
There are
thing.
people in this room who don't want to be recorded.
So yes,
Believe just this
just what he started there with this session, men see also. So are tip and tricks that women feel more comfortable to be with. The same with images. So to put only images related to this woman, not related with the husband or in other circumstances. So we can
Okay,
do
we're
this.
back online.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I need to hurry up then. So you will have to allow me a bit more. Let's see some visual example. This is the Hebrew article about astronauts in connection to the previous talk. Well, this is actually a guy, but we don't know it, so that's okay. A guy. So we have 3 men, 0 women on page 1. This is English. How many women we have here? Same guy. I do page down. Oh, another guy, 0 women. I do page down, still another guy, and do page down again. We need to do 4 page downs to see the first women. Yeah, the first female astronaut.
In the representation, just to look to the heroes.
Just to?
To the heroes are all men.
Well, that's okay, but why 4 page downs to see the first women?
Yeah.
In our society, people don't have patience. They will just see the first page. Okay, this is Arabic Wikipedia. That's the same guy. That's a woman. This is from Wikidata, by the way. So, why not?
Yeah.
A woman can be an astronaut if you didn't know that. And apparently women sometimes, even if they're very intelligent, sometimes they don't know that. I did a summary. Hebrew, English, French, Russian, Arabic. The guy that you don't recognize, I didn't count it. So this is a visual gender bias. And this affects the culture. As long as this is there, women will less write in Wikipedia. As an example, let's look at, you're going to tell me, well, she's less important than the first man in space, the first Russian in space. I don't agree with that. She can be, as you've seen in Arabic Wikipedia, she can be first, and then we can have all the rest of them. It's not important how many we have, but she can still be first, and that will have a great cultural effect. Probably the community would not agree with me. Yeah, that's going to be more difficult. Another example, this is the front page of English Wikipedia. I was told during the conference by somebody, a participant from the Finnish Some Wikipedia, we have here the people who died during the past week. She told me that all of these are usually male, and the picture of the person who died, always male, never a female, even if female died that week. I didn't check the Finnish Wikipedia, that's what she told me, so you'll have to trust me, trust her about it. And we have the picture of the day in almost all Wikipedias. This is just a pretty picture. It's not something about importance. it's supposed to get people to read articles about something. This is Hebrew Wikipedia. I'm actually in charge of choosing which pictures to put every day. And the community chooses the pictures, and then I just decide on the date. I started counting them. See, like this is on May. Every May 1st, I put this picture. This is something against overworking children. So this will be every May 1st. This will be every May 2nd, the capture of the Reichstag by the Soviet soldiers. Apart from the fixed pictures, we also have many pretty pictures about birds, about important people. So every year, for example, for the birthday of Peter Ustinov, I put his picture because it was selected as a featured picture in the Hebrew. So some of them are fixed, but many others are not. And then I counted how many men and women are on Wikipedia front page. So let me show you the system. The system doesn't import it as long as you are consistent. So, obviously, this is a one man. One. Yes? One man, one woman, one man. Santa Claus is one man. Okay, this is one man, one woman. Here I counted. You can count 2 women, 3 women. Okay, so this is the system. Then it gets more difficult. A group of men, I cannot count these. So I counted this as one. Each of these is one man, one woman as a group. What would have to be? Okay, I did not count any of these. Probably they're all men. But I don't know. So I didn't count them. Yeah, didn't count these either. And of course, and also this is difficult. So let's do Swedish Wikipedia. 1 man, 0, 1 man. So we have 2 men, 0 women. Another month in Swedish Wikipedia, 1 man. That's it. I didn't count those. Okay, now the numbers. I counted how many men, how many females. This is Hebrew. This is the total. This is the last decade. I didn't count 2019 because it didn't finish. Maybe we can change that. But this is me minded to it. I tried to make it smaller. So we have, I think it's better last year. But still, the numbers are bad. And it's less important the numbers because in Swedish you have a picture every week, not every day. The important is the ratio. So this is the ratio, about 3 to 1. For every 3 men, we have 1 woman. So you can tell me, this is just the front page, nobody reads it. I know in Hebrew it's 60,000 people a day see the front page. So that's nobody. But it's like saying, oh, you can tell me, people use Google to find the articles, they're not going to the front page. My answer to you is, well, we have a shop. This is the front of the shop. We have only male mannequins dressed in the front. Google can tell women to find the back door. But I don't think that's the right way to address this. Another thing, we have events, historical events of the day. This is English, we have it in Hebrew, in portals. What happened today? I chose this week. Let's see, this week we have 1 man, 1 man, 1 man. Nothing important for women happened this week. That's incorrect. We don't choose the most important person of the day. We just choose a pretty picture, one that looks nice. So even if we choose the most important, we can do better. For example, that day we have, I think it's a writer, this writer. We can have chosen another writer and put same picture. They are of the same importance. But even if they weren't on the same importance, we could have chosen this one to make it prettier. And this is in Hebrew again. Let's see. I did this, so it's my fault. I will fix this. 1 man, 1 man, 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 man. Again, I should have chosen her. Herta Miller. She got a Nobel Prize. She got a Nobel Prize for. She worked in Germany. I know she's Romanian. She got a Nobel Prize for literature, and I think he got a Nobel Prize for literature. Again, same importance. This is Helmut Rahn. Same importance, they were born the same day. I should have chosen her. Suggestions, and at the end. I don't have a real suggestion. It's a community program. But I finish every lectures with this style. She was the greatest person in the 20th century. She actually founded the United Nations and wrote the Human Rights Declaration. Eleanor Roosevelt said, nothing has ever been achieved by a person who said this cannot be done. I've been to her house in New York, a museum. In the 60s, she learned that black churches are being burned in the south of the United States. She was the president of the wife of the ex-president. There is a picture of her packing a suitcase, getting on a bus, and going to the south of the United States, sitting on the stairs of churches so they would be burned. She's one person and she made huge difference. So even if you help choose the picture of the day or the portals, that can make a big difference. So this year I finished this lecture with Rosie the Riveter and not with Eleanor Roosevelt. Okay, biographies, and we have to do the credits and license, and as you've seen, there are plenty of pictures, so I have plenty of credits.
You are the only one who put credits and licenses on the slides.
Any questions? I was afraid you were going to kill me, that's why. But if you agree with me, we can fix this, and I think it will help. And I think we never addressed this before.
Let's collaborate together, not separately, but together.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much.